everyone, it's Veronica, and I just want to let you know I'm getting over a cold, so if I sound funny, it's because my nose is still a little stuffy, so I apologize, and I hope that I still will be clear enough for you when I explain some stuff here. So today I want to do two projects, and one is an earring set and one is a choker necklace, and I think, and they're very simple but very, very pretty. So we are going to start. This here is an 8mm, and you've probably seen this in one of my previous videos. It is the gold suede from it's a check bead, but it is from artbeads.com. That's where I got this one here. And I have a head pin. Okay, the ball head pin here. This is the stainless steel. And just a couple of inches of, I have an 18 gauge here because I'm going to make an ear wire. And I wanted to show you how to do that. It's very, very simple. I am going to be using 26 gauge on here so that it'll match my other set and my other half of the earring, because I already did one. And it is a little bit tougher than the 28 gauge that I used on another earring set that I made, same style. So this one is going to be, you have to really grip onto this when we start wrapping and everything like that. Just understand that when you are using something that's a little bit tougher, just keep in mind you might want to just relax your hands as you're doing it. Just stop and relax your hands, because they will possibly cramp up. So I wanted to show you what this looks like, and I want to call it my tornado earring. And this is what it looks like. So this here, the head pin, I keep it right up here. I just make a loop, and I will be using the 26 gauge to wrap around this. And as you can see, it's not perfectly neatly wrapped. I wanted it to look like that tornado look, but also to give it that slender look, so that you have some, I guess, what do you want to call it? What's that word I want to use? Dimension, or I've lost the word. I'll think of it in a minute. So, and then the ear wire here is what I want to show you how to make here. To show you the simple way to make it. I know that some people, they make their ear wires, and sometimes they may be like, well, how do I get it even? Well, I will show you how to do that. So this is going to be the set we're going to make. I do want to show you the other ones that I did make. This was the very first set that I made. And this is with the disc crystals here. And just absolutely beautiful. And as you can see, I'm using the champagne color, and I just absolutely love them. Where I got this idea from, I think I was watching a series, and some crime series, and I saw this woman who, she was not on the camera very long, and it wasn't a close-up shot, but I was like, wow, that kind of looks like wire that goes all the way down. But I don't know if that's actually what it was, but that's what it looked like to me. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna try that. And it does look a lot like what I got a flash of on the TV. So anyway, I just think that they're absolutely beautiful, and I think that with the disc at the bottom really, really gives it some character. So yes, so this was the first that I did. And then this is the one I did with the silver tone. And this is with the 28 gauge wire. So it wasn't quite as tough to get it around. And I just used some of the teal crystals here at the bottom. This is by, I think, 8 by 6.5. And then I have my stainless steel post for those. And so let's begin. Okay, so what you're going to need is your round nose pliers. You're going to need your bail pliers, or as some people call it, a 6-step plier, and your flush cutters, and your needle nose pliers, tweezer nose pliers. Okay, and whatever else you may need that you generally would use when you are making jewelry. So I want to start with making the ear wire, and I want to make sure that the ends are flush. Okay. So what you're going to do is, with your round nose pliers, you're going to make a loop, and which is going to be the part where you're going to insert the earring. Okay, so you can make the loop as big as you want, but I would say just go with the standard size that you would when you're making ear wires, or what you would normally see when you do buy your own ear wires. Okay, so I'm going to take that, and I'm just going to come around. Okay. Just want to make sure that I come in and make sure that that's closed. Okay. Now from here, this is where, now if you don't have the bail pliers, you can take your round nose pliers and go to the end. Okay. Make sure your loop is upward, and you can go to the end. Okay. And you're going to wrap it around. But I'm going to use my bail pliers here. Now you have, they gradually go up. So this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. So I'm going to go to the third biggest, which is probably about a 6mm. Okay. And I'm going to make sure that this is placed upward. Make sure it's straight. Okay, and I would go, you can go in the middle. Don't squeeze too hard, but just enough where you can roll this around, follow that bail, and line it up. Sorry, I hope I was in frame, but you're basically going to roll it around that, just like that. Okay, and now you're going to take your pliers out. You're going to insert it back this way, so that this sits right on top of that. Okay, so, and put it in the middle, because you're going to need your flush cutters to come underneath. So it's going to look like that, so that this is resting on top. Okay, so it looks like that. And then from here, you're going to take your flush cutters. Okay, make sure that your flush cutters are coming in with the flush up here. So this is where you're going to take this and just lean it right on that. Okay, so it's leaning right on your bail pliers. Okay, and then you're just going to snip. So now you'll see that you have your ear wire. Now I like to bend this outward a little bit, and you can file this down so it's not quite as sharp. And at this point, then I would just take, my flat nose pliers, and then come to the end, line it up directly with that. Okay, and then just give it a slight bend so it looks like that. Okay, so I have that one already set and made with this ear wire here. Okay, so we'll put that aside, and that is 18 gauge, if I didn't mention that. You can use 20 gauge, And if you are going to use 20 gauge, I mean, you could probably even do that with memory wire. That would just be a lot tougher. Take a lot more strength to get it around to shape it to the shape that you want. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead with this. Now, what we're going to do is put this on here. And we're then going to take our round nose pliers and you're going to make a loop at the top. Okay, just a regular size loop. And just make sure when you do both your earrings that you are in the same spot for each ear wire that you are with each earring that you're making, that you will be placing on your your round nose pliers. Okay. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to make oops, sorry. Just making a loop like a P. Okay, and then I'm going to come back in just like I would if I was making an eye at the end of to make myself an eye pin. And I'm going to bend it upward. Okay, and what I'd like to do is just to make sure that that is closed and connected. Because this is stainless steel, it's a little bit tougher. So I'm just going to kind of use this area in here to get a grip and just give it a close. Okay. Keep double checking. Okay. Now I'm going to come back out so that we can start to wrap this. So you're going to get yourself probably about, with the 26 gauge, I would say, foot and a half, 2 foot. Okay. All right, so I got myself about that, about 1.5 feet to 2 feet. And what I'm going to do, whoops, almost knocking stuff over. And again, this is 26 gauge, so this one's going to be a little tougher to work with. So please be patient with me. And I'm going to try to bring this back out so it's easier to see. So in your loop, towards the back end that's not open, you're going to stick this through, okay? And you're basically just going to and then you're going to bring it through again because you just want to anchor it on there, okay? And you can take and take your tweezers and then just so you can pull it, okay, so that it's anchored on there. Okay. Okay, now this end here, the shorter end, you want to start wrapping it around. Let me get this out of the way so you can see. I'll bring it just a wee bit closer. So basically you're just going to start wrapping it around, and this is where you're going to have to hold on to this, and you're going to have, this is stainless steel, so I'm not worried about marring it up because it's going to be covered anyway if you're not using stainless steel, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. But try to get your wire out of the way so don't get caught while you're working on this area here. Okay, so I want to make sure that I get this down in the right area. Just to bring it down here. Okay. Whoops. See, it's hardly any room here. You just... Oh, okay. Now I'm stuck. Like I said, sometimes this is not that easy. If you need to hold it on this end, just to keep it down, you can do that. Because now you're just going to take this and start wrapping it. And you're going to kind of give it that fluted look. So you can do several wraps up and making it wider at the top, and then you start getting skinnier, and then you'll be going wider again at the bottom. So I'm going to do that here. And at this point, just know that when you are going to start wrapping the other one, you don't want to make it too bulky. You want to try to make each earring look the same. And then this way now you can come down, do it singly. Do about 3 wraps singly. And now you're just going to bring it back up and kind of go over that. And if you feel you need to use your tools, because you can't grip on that, that's fine. I'm just going to snip off this little end here. Oop. And then I'm just going to tuck that in, because now we're going to go over that. And just be gentle, because you don't want to flatten that out, so because you still want it to look round. Okay, so now we're going to work on this end. Okay, let's see. I'm going to make sure that I am pulling this. Okay, getting the right one. Now, this can get bent out of shape, and that's fine. Just take your, anything to straighten it back out. And you'll still be able to have a chance to straighten it all out when you get it wrapped, because it will get bent, especially with a wire that is a little bit stiffer and not quite as easy to do like a 28 gauge. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this and I'm going to hold on to this. All right, so I'm going to start up here. We're going to just start working our way down and moving it a little at a time. Okay. So now what I want to do, I think I might have to come through. I'm going to come through this once. Just to kind of give it that equal look on the other side. I'm coming through. Okay. Now I can go ahead and do this. Now it depends on whether you're left or right-handed, how you're going to start turning it, whether you're going to come this way or you're going to go that way. It's totally up to you, whatever you're comfortable with. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to start wrapping. And you want it a little bit neat, but not quite so neat. just so that it doesn't look like it's barbed wire, but still yet a messy wrap kind of look. Okay, so now we're going to hold on to that. And now we can come down and start doing it just single wraps. Work your way down. And but it doesn't, they don't have to be right exactly next to each other. If you have a little bit of space, it's not a big deal because we're going to come back up. Okay. Oops. Okay, just wanted to double check here. And just a little at a time, and make sure you're holding on to that really tightly because it, you know, it will start doing that. Okay, let's see. All right, we're going to move down a little bit more. Sorry, my my throat is very tickly with this cold. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I just lost some of my jump rings. Okay. And then, again, just come down. Go down as far as you can go. Oops. All right, so now at this point, we're going to have to try to hold it at this end. Give it a good grip to try to get the rest of this around. If not, this is where you have to really grip with your fingers. Okay. Now you're going to bring it all the way down. And you're going to be creating that larger space on the bottom. Okay, sorry if I keep going out of frame. It's not that easy here. See, you gotta rest your hands because I'm gripping so hard. And I can't grip on this because then that'll flatten it. So if you feel like it's getting out of whack there, that's why it's best to use 28 gauge if you have it, because you wouldn't have to fight so hard. So it keeps spinning on me. I'll try to hold it with this. Wow. Okay. Whew, that's tough. All right, so now we're gonna, wow, my hands. Wire work is not that easy. All right, so now I'm gonna start bringing it so that I can just, now I'm just going to be doing the single ones on the way up, but again, they are going to be overlapping in here, so I'm not going to worry about the perfection, because that's the whole purpose of this earring, is to make it look more like a very long messy wrap, if you want to call it, or a tornado, okay? And that is what I'm going to do here. Okay, now we can start doing that. If you feel you got to turn it over, it's up to you, but that's not going to work for me. Okay. And so on it goes. It's already looking nice. Guess maybe I'm going to switch hands for now because my right hand, from squeezing so hard, is getting a little cramped. And again, you want to go up, and you're going to be going over the other ones that are underneath, but not crossing the wires that you are currently working on. Okay. So now, as you can see, we're going to be filling in the space here. It's going to fit right in there. So that's where I'm going to cut it. So I'm going to cut it right there. And then I'm going to take and squeeze that right in there. Okay. And this is where we're going to now hang our, actually I'm going to use this one here. Open it up and then just hang that right on there. Okay, and there is your earring set. Oops. Oh. So what I like to do is check over here to make sure that this is lined up in here, okay? And so I am going to go ahead and make sure that's nice and flat. And I'm going to go ahead and add that to my earring holder. And so you can see, if you do it correctly, they should come out the same size. Okay, because if all your loops and everything is the same size, then that is going to make it nice and even. And if you need to just straighten it out a wee bit because you bent it out of shape, and there you are. So now we're going to move on to we're going to do our little choker. So let me get the stuff out and I'll be right back. Okay, so for the choker today, I have some black satin ribbon here. I also got it at beads.com. I have, these are silver plated here. These are 10 millimeter ribbon ends, okay? I have 4 millimeter jump rings. These are the new ones I got from Adabel that are thick and I think they're I don't know if they said 20 gauge or 17 gauge. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, it is 304 stainless steel anyway. And I have 2, I think these are 5 millimeter. And then I have, you can choose whatever clasp. Just know that when you are cutting your ribbon and you want it as a choker style, then just make sure you measure it correctly. I'm going to take 8 1/4 2 times. And I do want to show you the last one that I made. The clasp is different, but not much in size. This is a regular. So I did it with this beautiful lime green. This is a velvety. This is more of a velvety ribbon. Okay, that's the back of it. And I have the pink with the rhinestones or cubic zirconia right in here. I will leave a link to these, okay? And it is a shank button, but I just connected them with some jump rings on the back, okay? And they're little bees. And I will seal this up just because I like to protect it, even though I believe it's already got some sort of sealant on it. If I'm not sure of something, I will seal it up because I don't want any of this tarnishing. And even if it is sealed now, I would rather give it even more longevity just by me doing my own sealant, okay? So this is this one here. And I think it's just so cute and it's so easy. Okay, so we're going to work with that in the silver and black today. You know, what's really nice about this here is with a choker, you can always have another long necklace with it. Like, you know, have something that is whatever that matches. In this case, I would use silver chain, probably either my Coriana or the other silver stainless steel that I have, that very tiny little thin one as well. And probably just put a little pendant at the bottom there and then just wear it together. So I think that would look nice too. So you don't have to wear a choker all by itself. So I am going to go ahead and cut myself 2 pieces here of the length that I want, okay? Okay, so I have myself my size, and it's actually 7 1/4. Yeah, 7 1/4 each side. And again, that's going to depend on what clasp you're using, how big your neck is, and how tight you want it, how loose you want it. And being that this is a shank, even when you get it on there, it will still want to flop. The thing, and not so bad once you get your jump rings on, but the thing is, if you have it placed correctly around your neck, and you know the particular tightness, it will lay up against your neck, and your neck itself will prevent it from flopping over. If you have it too long, too loose, you'll find it's just going to flop around. So that's the thing with you know, using buttons and things like that. But I do have different sizes and different colors of this. So I am going to be using some, you know, to make some leather bracelets and having this as my button clasp and things like that. So with this, just be sure to know that when you are putting this on around your neck, that it will be sitting in a position where it's just not going to hang over and flop around, okay? So unless you know how to get some wiring and all that through there to anchor it from falling, by all means, but I don't want to make this a difficult project. It should be very easy. A couple of jump rings, a couple of end clasps here for the ribbons, and be done with it. So now with the ribbon here, you can singe this a little bit with a lighter. Okay, just know that certain ones may not be good quality, and they'll just keep tearing and tearing, and they're literally just made of junk. But this is satin, so you should be able to get a little bit of singe on here, enough to just hold that, or you can just dab a little bit of glue to keep that from fringing here where you cut it. Okay. So, and make sure that there are 2 different sides. You'll see this is the dull side, that's the shiny side. And you want to make sure that when you are placing them on here, that they are going to be facing the same way, okay? Sorry guys, I got a phone call and it interrupted my recording. So, I guess I'm just going to have to, instead of pausing it, hopefully there won't be this big skip or anything missing because of that phone call. Anyway, I just wanted to get some, I was getting some things out while I was talking on the phone, so don't mind that. that's to remind me of another project that I have to do for a friend of mine. So anyway, so what I'm going to do is I got to find my lighter because I really want to singe these, and it was here on my desk, but I don't see it now. But see, that's the way of the jewelry world. You have so much stuff, you tend to just misplace things too as you're working. Anyway, so I'll get that and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. It's actually been a couple of days because I needed to recover more from my cold. It was quite bad. I don't usually get sick like that, so when it gets that bad, I need to recover. So I'm back here, and the ends I already singed with my lighter, just ever so slightly to make sure that they don't fray. So we're going to start with getting our ribbon ends on here. So these are my stainless steel ones, and I want to just take, like my flat nose pliers or something, to gently hold on to them and get them so that you have at least a decent grip. And you want to be able to place those in there. Okay, 1 second. I hope I have the right size. Let me go get the other ones because I think I may have grabbed the wrong size. I'll be right back. Okay, yes. For this ribbon here, I needed the 6mm, and that's here. That's the stainless steel 6mm ribbon clasp end from artbeads.com. And oh, my hands are freezing. So I want to get this in there. We want to just make sure that we line it up and make sure that it is lined up properly and not crooked before we close it. So I'm going to go ahead and squeeze. And you don't want to squeeze all the way because you want to be able to adjust it. And then when you get it nice and straight, then you can go ahead and crimp it closed. Okay. And I want to come to the side as well. On both sides. Okay. So we have one end. Now you want to do that with all 4 ends, okay? So I'm going to do that one more time. And then I'll do the other 2 off of camera. So get that nice and lined up in there. And I'm going to go ahead and take this and make sure you have your ribbons facing the same way. So I'm going to come in here. I'll line it up. Give it a squeeze. Okay, and then straighten it out if I have to. And then squeeze it again, and then come to the sides. Okay. All right, so I have them both here. Now I'm going to do these 2 off, and I will be right back. All right, so now I have them all set here at the ends, and now I'm going to go ahead and put the jump rings on here. So as you can see, the shank button like this, I want to put the jump rings. I'm going to be putting 2 each Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put one on. So you're probably going to need something that you can grab in that tiny spot. So I'm going to try to use my, these are the crimpers, but I'm going to use the ends because they're great for tiny places like that. So hopefully I won't have any issues. And you're just going to go ahead and close that up. Okay, that's one. And then the same thing with the other side. And then just put that jump ring on that's already closed. And put that on. And go ahead and close that. So now you have one on each side. And so the little ones are going to stick out. And that is where you're going to connect them here. Okay. So now we're going to need, I want to get my other, the little ones here, because these are really tiny. So, you know, with these, you know, we all know that we work with tiny things. So it's going to take some patience. Oops. Oops. Oh my goodness. Let's try that again. Okay, now I got to find that opening again. Where is it? There it is. Of course, it always falls to the very bottom. Okay, now we can go ahead and when you are putting this on, make sure it's going in the direction you want. This is the back side. And you want the silkier side to be on top. So if this is the button facing in that direction, you want to make sure that this goes on in this direction. Okay. Now more of a challenge here because you start to lose some space as you are adding other things onto your jump ring. Okay, so as you can see, the button that faces out, your ribbon should have the silkier side also facing outward. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other one off camera and I'll be right back. Okay, so before I connect this, I wanted to show you perhaps an easier way. Once you get your ribbon ends on, you can then add that smaller jump ring to the end. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and add this jump ring, the larger one. Okay, and just make sure that you have it positioned so you and open enough where you can go ahead and add this one. And again, make sure that your ribbon is on the correct side. Okay. All right, 1 second. All right, so what I'm going to do is, just give me a second because this flipped over. Okay. This is the side we want to work on. Okay, now we want to add this. I was wondering how in the world, why did that flip? It actually flipped from that side to this side, or whatever, vice versa. So make sure this is open enough. We're going to go ahead and add this on here. And then again, make sure that your ribbon is on the correct side. And now we can go ahead and close the larger one. That might make it easier instead of trying to struggle with the smaller one. Now you can use larger jump rings if you want so that you're not struggling as much. That's up to you. Okay. All right, so there is your jump rings on each side. And the reason why I used two was because one is going to face this way, and then you have the other one so that you can, it goes opposite. Now, if your loop on the end of your clasp is facing the other way, then you can just attach it. So you just have to make sure that whatever you use for jump rings or connector, that these ribbons will remain flat. Okay, and because this is weighty, this is why you want to make sure that your choker is not so large where it's just going to flap over when it's hanging from your neck. Okay. And then just basically, you're going to add your whatever clasp that you like. I have a magnet. I'm going to connect them with the two little jump rings. And I made an earring set. And I was going to use my Coriana chain to add a second necklace to it, you know, if you wear it together. And so I have one of my crystals here that came from the bargain bead box, or bead box bargains. And then I just added here a bead cap to give it some, you know, design. And then this is the waxed cord with my ends here in silver. And that is what I'm going to use. The reason why I can't use a Coriana chain right now, because I have, when I was at work, working 12 hours a day and all that downtime, I packed some of my jewelry with me. And for some reason, I cannot find my crimp beads, so I can't get my ends on my Coriana chain right now. But I will, once I find them, I will, because then it's just interchangeable at that point. Then I can add that. And this will fit over to take off very easily off this end and place it on my Coriana chain if I want something different to look like. So I am making an earring set to match that, and it's just really pretty. So what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and make the connection. With the jump ring here. And I think I'm going to use something a little bit wider just to open that and add it on to my end. Add the magnet end, and again, you can use any kind that you want. Just make sure you count that in for measurement. Okay. Oop. Oh, these are my really heavy duty ones, so it's very easy to lose that grip there because they're so sturdy. And all right, so now we're going to go ahead and put the other one on, and then I'll do the earring because I already did the other one. I'm going to put that on. Oops, well, did this not open? All right, let's see, right there, and then just connect the other one. So making sure that they are not twisted, and then just come around. And put that through that little loop. goodness. So tiny. Okay. All right, so that we have that. It's so pretty. And so that's going to be like this. You could wear it separately if you want to connect them up here at the end. You know, connecting them to the jump ring, that's fine. I prefer that they are separate because I want to be able to make the changes. Or if I just want to wear this separately without any extra necklace with it. And so the earrings are going to be here. Let me get this out of the way. And so I have an 8mm, and it's one of the thinner gauges. It is stainless steel. And the reason for that is because it is kind of wide, and a 6mm will not go through that. It's the diameter inside is just too small for it to curve around into it. So I have decided to use the 8mm, the thinner gauge. And so basically I'm going to add my bead cap facing forward, and then to add that. Okay, and then you want to add this. So this is my stainless steel ball head stud, and that is what I'm going to choose to use. You can make your own ear wire and add a jump ring so that the front is facing forward, and then give it a nice close. And with the larger jump rings, you want to make sure that they are not, that these are not, I guess, what do you want to call it? They can get warped. So you want to try to make sure that the whole jump ring stays nice and straight and not warped. And there you have the earring here. Of course, I'll be cleaning those off. Oops. I think I have that on backwards. Yes, I do. I'll be right back. Okay, so that's better. I have the actual crystal part facing forward. So it's just a matter of getting it to, I'm going to put it right here. I'll just make sure it's nice and closed, and then that they're, and there they are. I think that is just so pretty, so simple, and yet so pretty. And so now we're just going to go ahead, and I'm going to put this on, so you can see here, facing that way. You don't want it facing that way because that's just the backing with that electroplating on there, and you want the crystal to actually be forward. All right, so I'm going to get it onto my necklace bust. I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back, and this is the projects that we did today. As you can see, oops, I'm knocking stuff over as usual. Oops, make sure those are straight down. So yeah, the ones that we did were right here, and these are the ones I did previously, and they're so pretty. And this is what it would look like. So you can wear your little choker and something underneath, anything you like. So I hope that this inspired you, and so that you can enjoy making jewelry, because it really is a lot of fun, but it does take patience. So everyone, I'm going to end it with the precious word of the day, and I will be right back.